It was the year 2002, and I was a young gamer. I was specifically a PlayStation gamer. I was on that PS2. What did I have at the time? I think I had that demo disc with Armored Core on there. If I wasn't struggling to learn Gran Turismo, I was going back to the PS1 era and playing Medieval over and over again. I didn't really think about a GameCube or a Nintendo much until I'd stay the night at a friend's house who pulled out that Super Smash Bros. Melee. I would stay up all night with my friends, eating those circular hot Cheetos, stuffing my face with chocolatey Twix, until one of the days I went over, he was playing a little game called Pikmin, throwing little plant alien things at larger creatures, and I was looking at that and thinking to myself, wow, that's gay. Cut 10 years later, I'm in middle school. I'm at a friend's house who's playing Pikmin 2 on the Wii. And I'm like, wow, my opinion still has not changed. This game looks like a little baby game. And I've held that opinion for years on years on years until recently. I was watching that recent Nintendo Direct. They announced Pikmin 4 while also saying that they were putting out Pikmin 1 and 2 remastered. This piqued my interest, and to be honest, within the last year, I've been kind of wanting to delve into Pikmin a little bit. The physical copies of Pikmin are really expensive, and emulating it on your PC legally didn't really give me great results for either of the Pikmin games. Curiosity piqued, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and delve right into the world of Pikmin. And after finishing 1 and 2, and then getting to the final boss of 3, but still having trouble with it, I am now obsessed with these stupid plant things. This video is not necessarily gonna be a retrospective, and it's not really gonna be a review either, just kind of my experience with Pikmin. Hopefully longtime Pikmin fans don't try to crucify me or hang me upside down by my ankles. Pikmin 1, you play as the beloved Olimar, who's an alien who's flying around in outer space. I forgot what he does for a living, but he's probably doing alien stuff. He gets hit by a meteor and immediately crash lands on Earth. Is that what this is? It's gotta be Earth. It's gotta be some Earth. You find a plant, boom, you got yourself a red Pikmin. The point is to collect Pikmin, and the Pikmin are just willing, just off rip, to come be your war allies and pick up the pieces of your ship that are lost, so that way you can rebuild it and successfully return home. The red guys can walk through fire, the blue guys can walk through water, and the yellow guys are just, they're fast. They're faster, you throw them higher, and they pick up bomb rocks. They all have hands. I don't know why they all can't pick up the bomb rocks. It doesn't really make much sense, but whatever. Some of the problems I have with the Pikmin is when you leave them alone, like you blow your whistle to get them to like stay, they go off and do other things, and that's actually a problem throughout all 3 of the games. They just go pick up stuff, and I wish that when you just blew the whistle for them to stop, they just stayed there. But they always want to find some other little object to do. They're always trying to fucking clean house. I also love how at first when you play Pikmin, your heart breaks a little inside every time a Pikmin dies. No, man, I like those guys. And then later down the line, it goes from that to this. That's your fault. It's not on me. One annoyance I have with the game is that the Pikmin are mostly, unless they are flower, like they grow flowers on their heads, they're super slow and always fall behind. Sometimes they get caught on corners, super annoying. Also, there's this very fun, very quirky mechanic they have in the game where randomly a Pikmin will trip while they're running and trying to catch up with you. So now he's even farther behind. I love it. Honestly, they should do stuff like that a lot more often. It reminds me of that tripping in Super Smash Bros. Brawl that they never should have added. It's so stupid. It's so annoying. But despite all those complaints, the game is super charming. It's very peaceful. The music's really good. The atmosphere is very nice. Even in the dangerous areas, I had a really good time. I believe World 3, I don't remember the name of it, but World 3 is the least favorite of a lot of Pikmin fans' areas they go to. I ended up loving it because of the challenge. Although one thing that annoyed the shit out of me was the fact that it takes so many bomb rocks to blow this wall up. Granted, I am just now, literally right now, learning that there are more bomb rocks inside of these pipes than what you see. You're supposed to direct the Pikmin to like look in the darkness and the shadows of the pipes. That would have been very, very helpful. I would have saved a lot of trips. You have a day timer, right? That's what that little thing on the top is a day timer. If it goes out, then the day's over. You got to collect your guys and hurry up and leave. This is one of the mechanics that intimidated me at first. It's one of the reasons that I don't play Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I feel like this game gives you plenty of time. You have 30 days. Every day lasts, I believe, 13 or 15 minutes. And out of the 30 items, I believe you only really need to get 25. But me, I'm a completionist. I had to get all 30, baby. The game's very cozy. It's very relaxing. And I replayed it immediately after beating it the first time, and even in the middle of my play sessions with 2 and 3, I would go back to 1. It might sound like I have more complaints for the game than I do like justifications for loving it, but it's just, I don't know, it's different, it's unique. You end up loving the Pikmin. You're not going to find many games like this unless you're talking about that one PS Vita game where you're like the devil controlling goblins or something. See, Nintendo as a company kind of sucks, but when their games hit, they hit, because no one's making games like Nintendo. I think their business practices are pretty shitty, and the way they see the market is incredibly out of touch. Their internet service is booty cheeks, garbage, fart juice. But after going through Pikmin 1, it's already ended up becoming one of my favorite games, definitely one of my top 10s. Now at this point, you may have realized that I used some Pikmin 2 clips to show examples for Pikmin 1, and the reason being is because they both share most of the same issues. Plot overview for Pikmin 2, very brief, very short. Olimar touches down, he gets home successfully, but he comes back to his home in absolute bankruptcy shambles. The president, or the mayor? The president or the mayor of, I'm assuming, the world, he's freaking out because they're absolutely in debt, completely in debt. I guess there was this thing that this other little guy named Louis over here, I guess he ate all of the product they were selling or something like that. So now the mayor is sending Louis to go with Olimar to go collect treasure to help pay off the debt. Olimar doesn't even get a chance to like kick his shoes off or anything like that. He touches down, boom, gets shipped back out. Here you have two different characters now. You can play with Olimar, you can play with Louis, you can even play with yourself. Let's talk about the pros of number 2. The worlds are bigger. The worlds are actually the same exact areas from the last game, except they're bigger and they also have a little more life to them. Each area represents a theme, like a season. They also introduced dungeons, which at first was a super cool concept. They kind of changed the formula a little bit, right? The day cycles don't matter as much. You're not on a time limit. The days do end. It becomes more of a nuisance than it does a pro to the gameplay. And when you're in the dungeons, time completely just stops. You don't even have to worry about the time when you're underground. As cool as the dungeons were at first, they kind of get a little tiring because they literally just like copy and paste certain like assets and ideas and rooms, and literally down to a T. Personally, I think I stand with everybody else where like the Glutton's Kitchen was a super cool level. Also, one of my favorites, probably a hot take. I love the cave with the water wraith. That was the most exciting time I had with the game. It reminded me of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2 and Nemesis from Resident Evil 3 and any other game that has like that enemy AI that chases you down. The dungeons are also randomized, so your playthroughs will never be the same. I found this out by replaying the levels multiple times. The game does save on every single floor of these caves or these dungeons, so if your Switch was to die or something like that, you are still able to go right back, jump right back into the area you left off at. That's not what you use it for, is it? If I lost too many plant babies in a dungeon, I would just hit that reset button. I would just smack that like Akon. You go through the game, you collect all this treasure, and after you hit a certain point, the game ends, but it doesn't really end, right? You go through the credits, and it turns out you actually have another world you can go to if you wanted to be a completionist. This final world is a completionist nightmare. There's this one item that you need Pikmin to pick up and take to your ship, right? It's like this weight, and you need 100 purple Pikmin to pick this thing up. Now, that wouldn't have been a problem, but grabbing purple and white Pikmin are not as easy as just farming items for the red, yellow, and blues to go grab and put in their little ships. They're collected differently. You have to go into the dungeons, but not just any dungeons, very particular dungeons that have these, what they're called, candy pop buds, where you throw in some of your Pikmin and out pops the color that the flower is. You need to do that. You need to farm that to get 100 purple Pikmin to grab this one stupid item. You grind this out for about approximately 17 years and boom, you finally got the weight. I completely just skipped over the fact that there are 2 new Pikmin in this game, right? You got your purple guys, they're really big. They're OP. They're slow though. They fall behind. And then you have your white Pikmin who can withstand poison, but they also, if they get eaten, they poison the other guys. They slightly changed the yellow Pikmin a little bit. This time around, they're able to withstand like electric barriers or shock enemies. However, they did completely take out the ability to grab bomb rocks, but that doesn't mean that bomb rocks aren't in the game. Ooh, no, they sure as hell got bomb rocks. There's a point in the game where Louis completely disappears. It just kind of happens. He's not in the game anymore, and then the mayor takes his spot. Final boss is Louis. It is Louis, actually. He disappeared because, according to the game, he got brainwashed by this bug. Brainwashed or not, me and the homies hate Louis. I can't be the only one who doesn't like Louis, right? Louis needs to kick rocks. Get out of here. Now, I hope I don't get hit with artillery for saying this. I don't want to smell like blunderbuss powder after I say what I need to say, but I don't really find myself returning to this game as often as I do the first one, and if I ever do return to it, I'm absolutely, without a doubt, 1000% not 100% completing it. I did enjoy the first one more. I know. It's kind of an interesting thing that I've gathered. For people that grew up with Pikmin 1 and 2, number 2 ended up being their favorite and the most nostalgic. For people just like me that are picking it up for the first time and playing each one in succession, the first one ends up being the favorite of the 2. But when it comes to Pikmin 3, what a gorgeous game. That's all I gotta say. This game is really amazing. I've realized I've been using very basic adjectives. It's very cool. It's so good. It's super great. I need to expand my vocabulary a little bit. I couldn't imagine loving the Pikmin franchise in the early 2000s because people had to wait a whole 10 years before they got a Pikmin 3. It originally came out on the Wii U and they ported it over to the Switch about 8 to 9 years later, and for a time it was the only game that was Pikmin related on the Nintendo Switch. Pikmin 3 is the best looking of all the games. I don't think that's even a hot take. I think that's just like the straight facts. They took a long time to work on this game and it shows. It looks amazing. You play as these 3 new ship captains and I don't remember any of their names. One of them's named Alpha, I believe, and then the other one's name is, there's the pink pink hair, the pink hair girl. Her name. Brittany, and the other guy's name is Captain Grover. Their home planet's run out of food, so they need to go and collect food. They need to bring food back because they're starving back home. And what do you know? A meteor, just like in the first game, hits their ship. They just so happen to land on this Pikmin Earth, and the Pikmin are more than happy to help out. They fixed so many problems in this game. They made the controls a lot better. There are a few things that I missed, like that one whistle that directs the Pikmin into a certain area. I missed that little musical note in doing that, but I got used to the way they move now. The Pikmin actually keep up with you a lot better than before. In this game, your goal is to collect fruits and turn them into little, like, fruit juices. The team goes on and starts to learn more about the Pikmin. The Pikmin are helping them collect things. Eventually, you find Louie, who is mistaken as Olimar. As much as I don't like Louie, it was a little charming seeing his stupid face again. Until in the middle of the night, he runs off with all the fruits you've collected up to that point. Greedy ass, punk ass, loser ass, bitch ass, food stealing, fucking loser piece of pussy shit. Louie. Eventually, you grab his ass, take him right back to the ship, get your juices back. Cool. The team gets a signal for Olimar's whereabouts, and they discover the final area. The final area gets opened up to you, but that's not where you want to go quite yet. You're a completionist, aren't you? Me and you both. You and I holding hands together, kissing under the rain. Before you go to the final level and confront the final boss, you start to realize, hey, wait a minute, I don't have all the fruits. There's a lot of fruits I missed in my last couple playthroughs of those levels. It's because you didn't have all the Pikmin necessary to gather those fruits in the begin with. They took out 2 Pikmin. There's no more purple Pikmin. There's no more white Pikmin, but they replaced them with rock Pikmin. The rock Pikmin are basically just purple Pikmin, but they look like rocks.
It's not just a boulder!
And then we have flying Pikmin that aren't that great for fighting, but they are great for grabbing items and transporting them across areas that are like hard to get around. There is still a day timer, and on the normal mode, days last 15 minutes, and on hard, days last 13 minutes. Again, the day timer just kind of feels like a nuisance at this point. There's no real reason for it to be around other than the fact that it was in the first game, so you just have to include it. Now, I am still very stuck on the final boss. After collecting all my fruits, I spent over 2 hours on the final boss. Maybe I suck. I'm having a real hard scuffle with these guys, and I have until Friday until Pikmin 4 comes out for me to beat this game. I'm thinking I'm just gonna grab a whole army of like rock Pikmin and just kind of just truck it out and see if that'll help. There are 2 spin-off games for Pikmin. There is the 3DS Hey Pikmin game, which I do have. I'm just not as interested in playing it. I've just been having it sitting there on my 3DS. The fact that it's side-scrolling isn't what turns me off. It's the art style that just does not look as good. I'll probably end up playing it once there's a Pikmin drought, but as for now, I touched it for probably like 20 minutes and lost interest. It's also a little weird that even though this game is on the 3DS, there's no 3DS capabilities, like there's no 3D in the game at all. It's almost like they forgot to add it. Also, there's a game that I didn't even know existed until recently. There's a game that's kind of like Pokemon Go. It's called Pikmin Bloom. It's supposed to help encourage you to want to walk more every step that you make. It helps the Pikmin grow. You gather Pikmin. You send your Pikmin out to grab fruits. But after about 2 days, I was kind of over it. However, I will introduce you to the Pikmin that I've grown. Allow me to introduce you to McGee. We got the homie Reddington, Dinky, Banana, Bimbo Bagums, Piss Baby, Bingledorf, Pinocchio, because he got a nose, little boy Skew, little man Chevron, because I found him at a Chevron. My brother named this one. This one's name is Clunk. And then my brother also named this one. His name's Gwatch. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up in a tank top because it's really hot in here and it's like 100 degrees outside. If I had to pick my favorites for the Pikmin games, I would say that Pikmin 1 is my favorite in overall experience. But on a technical level, everything in Pikmin 3 was just mwah, chef's kiss. Pikmin 4 comes out in 2 days, technically a day and a half from where I am now currently recording this video. And it took yet another 10 years for us to get here, to get another Pikmin game. People like me who are starting the franchise for the first time, we are blessed. We're very #blessed for being able to play the games in this way. But shout out to all the Pikmin community and the Pikmin fans who have been dicking it out for this long, waiting patiently for a good Pikmin game. A game that I once thought was this loser-ass little geeky game, this little dorky loser baby game, ended up warming my heart up, turning my cold heart into something a little more full of life. Also, it's worth noting that throughout this video, a lot of the footage that I used was not mine. It was actually videos that I grabbed from YouTube, from other YouTubers. I'm gonna link all of their pages down below in the description. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to Friday, and I will be playing it with you guys, alongside you guys, and experiencing it for the first time outside of the demo. But anyways, yeah, that's it. My name's No Clout Joey. Thank you for watching all the way to the end here. Be sure to subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side.